It is your friend in flowers, Lisa Mason Ziegler, dropping in here. And I'm just sitting here at my desk, pounding out the details on the thing I'm working on these days, which is the Flower Farmer Fast Track series. And I thought I would pop in here, and I want to just thank each and every one of you. We have had such an incredible response to this free webinar that I'm doing of where to sell your flowers, which I feel like, in my experience, I know for me personally, selling the flowers was the scariest part, or the part that I didn't want to do. It was like, why can't I just grow the flowers and let somebody else take care of the rest of that, right? I mean, isn't that what we all feel like? I feel like that about business too, right? Sometimes. And what I want to say is that this little webinar that I'm doing, and there's one this afternoon at 2 o'clock. We have thousands signed up, y'all. And then there's the last one's on Thursday. And you can comment sales here if you want to get the link to sign up, or you can find it over on my website, thegardenersworkshop.com. But this webinar is really a kind of not a teaser, but an example of what's inside my flower farming school, and how when you get down to the meat of things, there's just really some simple steps to follow that can really change the journey that you have and takes all the scariness out of it, right? And so through Thursday, or actually, yeah, it is Thursday, through March 7th, I've made a new, what's called a fast track, the Flower Farmer Fast Track series. And what that is I have taken flower farming school, and from each one of the 6 classes, each one of those classes is on a key piece of what I believe and have experienced over all these years of flower farming are the key areas that you have to go through to build a successful flower farming business, right? And so instead of purchasing the course and feeling like you have to watch the entire thing, which it's deep and wide, y'all, it'll carry your business for years in information. But I've teased out what I think are the key things you need to do from each one of those classes to get in and get started, to feel like you can just do it. Because if there's one thing I've learned in business, it's that spending a lot of time tallywagging, planning, thinking, wondering, all that kind of mess. You just need to, if you've decided you want to start a flower farming business, you just have to do it. And it's like, all right, what do I do first? Well, you got to get legal, right? Got to get legal, got to get set up so people can pay you for your flowers. And then you got to build a garden. Well, you build a garden, and then you can build a garden. You can build a garden that's the lowest maintenance possible, which has been the secret to my success for all these years. People are so surprised when they come here for tours. We did that once a year, big tour, that we aren't spending a lot of time weeding around here, and we don't use herbicides. It's the way that we set up, and that's what I share in the building your garden part of things. And then it's like, while the webinar that I do this afternoon and Thursday, and I've done 2 of them already, where you can sell your flowers, I am like, there is pun intended, I am planting the seeds of letting you see that there are a lot of places that you can sell flowers and ways, and they can be tweaked. Each one of those ways can be tweaked to different ways. You got to step out of the box, y'all. So in flower farming school, where you sell the flowers is at deeper dives and mindset and customer service and all that kind of stuff, right? And speed bouquets, and how do you make all that profitable, right? And then what to grow. And that's what brought me to me here today. So in the fast track, I am actually going to be sharing with you what I would be planting for my first warm season tender annual planting, the first succession, so that you don't have to think about it. You can just make your plan and do it, right? So I'm going to tell you, so it tells you what to grow in the course, but I'm going to pull out and I'm going to give you what I would say that my succession planting would be for that first warm season tender annual, which is what everybody's getting ready. It's too late for cool flowers now, right? And so that is the 4th class. The 5th class is starting it all from seed. Y'all, that's where the bottom line is. is. You have to learn to be a successful seed starter. And it is so simple when you follow a few simple ground rules. I see people doing all kinds of crazy things, and I'm thinking, who has time to do that? You know, there are simple ways. I have no greenhouse. Y'all know that. I have no acreage, no greenhouse. I farmed without a tractor for the first 12 years, I think it is. Well, I did. I got it in 2000. I got my tractor, as a matter of fact, in 2012. And I started flower farming in 1998. So you do the math. That's 14 years, actually. So you've got to become an experienced seed starter. And how do you do that? Starting over and over and over and over again. I have killed more seedlings than most people have ever started in their entire life. Sheer volume, y'all. Why do you think basketball players on the NBA practice every stinking day, all day? I mean, you just have to get good at it, right? And then the last piece that I'm going to tell you about is the class number 6, which is harvesting and conditioning. And I will say this without any guilt. That's where most of you all are just missing the bloomin' boat. Literally. I mean, all that work you do to build and start a business and then to screw it up when you get to the end, the part that you get the money for, is really just uncalled for, because there's just so much great information out there. My book, The Cut Flower Handbook, will help guide you on that, to be able to put it into practice. But the harvesting and conditioning is what is in class 6 of flower farming school. And I give you all my steps, and just that's the end product, y'all. We see old flowers being sold every single day on social media, all day long. And that's what gives flower farming a bad reputation. That's what makes people think they can't make money doing this. And there's just a whole lot more to harvesting and conditioning than just going out there and cutting the flowers and putting them in a bucket. And so there's a reason that we call ourselves professional cut flower growers. And class 6 will help you do that. So, friends, if you haven't signed up for my webinar, it's free. It's Where Can You Sell Your Cut Flowers? And it is like a 30,000 foot snapshot of 14 different possibilities that you could sell your cut flowers. And then I also share about how you eliminate a lot of the ebb and flow of work days by having complementary markets to sell your flowers at. So, friends, you can comment sales here to actually get the link to sign up, or you can just go to thegardenersworkshop.com. You can also learn more about my course. So this fast track, the Flower Farmer Fast Track series, is the bonus that is coming with the purchase of Flower Farming School this week, as well as all of my previous students. All thousands and thousands of you guys will also get an invite to come to the fast track. And I can't wait for you to come. It's like, here's what you've been asking for. You know, the 3 to 5 to 6, whatever number it is, of each area of what do you just need to get in there to do to get started. Because let me tell you something. Once somebody starts giving you money for the flowers that you've grown, it lights you on fire, y'all. You got to be ready for that. So, friends, thanks for dropping in here with me today, and I'm going to go walk my dog now. So the next webinar is at 2 p.m. Eastern time today, and I can't wait. I've been, each time I do the webinar, I do some little tweaks. You wouldn't probably tell the difference if you attended all 4 of them, but it just helps me to, my real bottom line is that when I learned about flower farming back in 1997. I thought, I could never be a flower farmer. I was barely a gardener, y'all. I live in the city. I can't have a greenhouse. I didn't have a tractor. I lived on 1.1 acres then. Wasn't even a whole 1.25 acres. And I just thought I couldn't do it. And I've done it, done it very successfully and very profitably all these years for 2.5 decades, right? And so my main mission in my business life now is to help other people that realize they can do it, and then to offer them the steps to do it smoothly, quickly, efficiently. We offer like the tactical steps. There isn't a lot of fluff over here, I'm happy to report. So if you are interested in doing the job, then hook up and enroll in Flower Farming School. And when you do that, by March 7th, midnight Eastern time, you also get invited to the bonus, the Flower Farmer Fast Track Series. And y'all, that is going to be just like a ton of fun. So what that includes is weekly for 7 weeks. Each week, the first week we meet up, it's going to be about the first class. And then there's a live Q&A. You will have no unanswered questions, y'all. So it's live Q&A. There is a session for each class in the course. And if you go to this course page on my website, you can look at the syllabus, y'all. It lists the whole outline of the course. You can see the depth and the width. There's thousands of frequently asked questions in there. And everything is search engine. Keyword searchable, meaning if you're looking for something on coxcomb, you put in coxcomb, and everywhere that is mentioned in the course comes up. So each week we come together for a meetup, and I do a training, which is the fast track, like saying, here are the things that I would do if I was coming out of the gate or hitting the reset button. This is what you need to get down to and do this week. Y'all, you need to start drawing some lines in the sand. Quick, moving, getting in and moving fast. There is so much value in that. I understand circumstances, but friends, if you want to go in business, you have to put it first sometimes, and you just have to make time, which is actually something we talk about in class 1. So we meet up each week. Each week's training is a fast track of that class, of what you need to address first. And then I do a 7th, which is a wrap up, which is kind of like I'll take questions from the entire course then. And then it's recorded. So you have access, we give you access to the fast track. You'll get that all in an email and get to have it forever. And y'all, it's that time. It's time to strike. So hopefully I will see you at the webinar. And then maybe I'll see you inside of Flower Farming School Online, the basics, annual crops, marketing, and more. And you'll be hearing from me again, because I really want to talk about why this is where everybody should start, is at the basics, y'all. That's the way you build bigger, longer reaching businesses, when you have a great foundation. So, all right, friends, till we meet again, I'm going back to make my flower list of what I think you should plant in that first warm season tender annual planting that's going to be in your fast track Flower Farmer series. And that would be, let's see, business building, where to sell. That would be on the 4th week. All right, friends, till we meet again. Ciao.